Force field analysis, a tool for person-centered organizations. Force field analysis is a tool to further develop your community into a person-centered learning organization. Force field analysis can be used to plan and implement change, especially when there may be resistance. This approach creates the environment for everyone to be engaged, creative, and to develop effective communication skills. It provides the opportunity for information sharing, prioritizing, and problem solving. Force field analysis was developed by Kurt Lewin in 1951 to help create a positive atmosphere for changes in the lives of his patients. Kurt Lewin was a German-American psychologist known as one of the modern pioneers of social, organizational, and applied psychology in the United States. Let's say a person-centered organization wants to change their language from being institutional-focused to being person-centered. As a group, brainstorm a list of driving forces, which are ways your organization is already positioned or ready to make this change. For example, some of your driving forces, the things you already do well, could be, we are a mission-driven organization with a person-centered focus. We have a history of being a learning organization. We have a number of staff who are willing to shift their paradigms and try new things. Therefore, they would easily understand the reason to make this change. Then, as a group, list restraining forces, which are ways your organization could be held back or challenged from making this change. This could also be resistance you might face. Some of the restraining forces might be, we sometimes have a medical model mindset that holds us back. We have some supervisors who are slow to embrace the idea of change. We have a lot of signage throughout the building that is institutional and like a hospital. Once full list of driving forces and restraining forces are developed, looking at the chart will help you determine if the time is right to pursue the change. Remember, these are just two separate lists of opposing forces. Each item is not tied to the item directly across from it. Here, the change goal is listed at the top, above the two lists. If the list of restraining forces is too long or too overwhelming, this might not be the right time to make the change, and attention needs to be given to minimizing the restraining forces before you begin. If the restraining forces are overwhelming, then create an action plan to tackle them. Expand and prioritize the items you have listed and develop a to-do list. Continue adding ideas that come up as you talk about the change. Think about how to maximize the driving forces. For example, our organization is prepared and now needs to be intentional in the development of a plan to make this happen. Pay attention to the restraining forces and come up with strategies to eliminate or at least minimize them. For example, we are going to have more educational experiences about creating home, including what does home mean to us? How do we describe home? Next, we will identify some keywords that we don't use at home that we can easily change now, like changing facility to community, patient to resident, and bib to clothing protector or napkin. With force field analysis, you evaluate and make adjustments as needed. This is a cyclical process. The more you use force field analysis, the easier it is to determine if and when the change you want to make will be possible. How can you use force field analysis in your organization.